Hello everyone, very good morning. Today in this video we'll be having a discussion of the Hindu editorial page. Today is 18th August 2020. There are 3 articles to be focused, but before that, this is a cartoon of the day. It clearly shows that Supreme Court is curtailing against the Twitter tweets. As you can see from the figure, that sword is on the Twitter. So it is clearly showing that it's regarding the Prashanth who was found guilty by the Supreme Court because of its tweets. So yesterday it was found that Prashanth Bhushan was found guilty. Regarding the cartoon of the day. But before I get into article discussion, I welcome you all to Wifise Study Karo, where I do daily editorials, interesting facts, job updates and also technical. If you are first to my channel, I request you all to subscribe so that you will not miss any further updates. I am Prashanth. Let's get started. The first article is regarding the MS Dhoni retirement. It's the end of the run on MSD retirement from international cricket. So Dhoni's retirement marks the end of an era in which India won all the big ones. That's cricket in India has often been littered with stereotypes, much akin of great India's rope trick. The game was reduced to the tropes of wristy batsmen and magical spinners. The sport was also blinkered to ancient geographical counters, often linked to royalty or erstwhile British presidencies of Bombay, Madras and Calcutta. Despite these boxy references, Kapil Dev emerged as an all-rounder from Haryana. After him, it was Mahendra Singh Dhoni turn to stun the pundits. So hailing from Jharkhand, never previously known for its prowess in the willow game, Dhoni kept dismantling cliches as he built a splendid career that defied odds and technical benchmarks. As a batsman and wicketkeeper, aesthetics was not his strong point, but supreme athleticism, innate talent and a calm head and remarkable effectiveness in the crunch made him an outstanding player. If there was a pattern to him, it was his unpredictability, be it the way he dealt with opposition bowlers, led India and timed his goodbyes. From Test 2014 or limited overs cricket, national cricket, this Saturday, in the first instance, the BCCI issued a statement, and in a second, the former Indian captain picked Instagram as his medium. So the initial reaction of overwhelming shock quickly became an acceptance of his quirks, and then it sunk in. An era has ended in Indian cricket. So if Sourav Ganguly helped India tide past the match-fixing crisis of 2000, Dhoni took his side to greater heights, and India became the #1 team in Tests during 2009. But it was ODI and 2020s that enhanced Dhoni's aura. So it was a abridged version that he was at his supreme best, flexing those helicopter sixes, affecting mind-blowing stumping, being astute in his field placements, running between wickets seemingly at the speed of light and making his men believe that they could win big trophies. So as a leader, he anchored India to 3 ICC titles, that is 2007 World 2020, 2011 World Cup and 2013 Champions Trophy. So in his chase, he was often in the zone, and until age caught with him, it was a certainty that Dhoni will guide India home. So there was an earthly intelligence about him, and during his years as skipper at the time, he would sit cross-legged in the corridor and give a pep talk to the youngsters. He had his unique style, and Indian cricket would be poorer without him. Though at 39 the sands time were running out for him, Dhoni, the cricketer, would still be a vogue of the Chennai Super King captain in the imminent Indian Premier League, that is IPL. In the coming years, those IPL days will dwindle, but his permanence, the pantheon of cricketing greats, assured. This is regarding MS Dhoni and the era of how he had started and how he has ended as a legend. The next article is regarding the jurisdictional conflict which was running Delhi and also Lieutenant Governor. So in the prosecutor's issue, the Lieutenant Governor acts have not been in consent with the Supreme Court to 2018 ruling. So the exercise of establishing a democratic and representative form of the government for NCT, that is National Capital Territory of Delhi, by insertion of Article 239A and A subclause A and 239AB would turn futile if government of Delhi that enjoys the confidence of the people of Delhi is not able to usher in the policies and laws over which the Delhi Legislative Assembly has powers to legislate for the NCT of Delhi. So said the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court in Government of Delhi versus Union of India in 2018. So the issue before the Supreme Court was a judicial conflicts between the government of NCT and the Union government and its representative, that is the Lieutenant Governor. The issues and the possible solutions. The judgment, which runs into more than 1,000 pages, analyzes the contentious issues which hobble the state government and attempts to resolve them. So very lofty principles concerning constitutional morality, cooperative federalism, constitutional conscience, pragmatic insertion, federalism, etc. have been enunciated in this judgment. So it remains that Lieutenant Governor what his real functions are. So it tells the state government that it should remember that Delhi is a special category union territory, and lays down the parameters to enabling the harmonious functions of the government and also Lieutenant Governor. So the judgment clarified and settled many contentious issues such as the powers of the Lieutenant Governor, that is the elected government, his discretionary powers, the extent and executive powers of the state government, etc. So on the face of it, it did not very clearly delineate the issues in respect of which the Lieutenant Governor can refer a decision taken by the Council of Ministers of the President in the event of difference of opinion between the Lieutenant Governor and also state government. Nevertheless, the Supreme Court had settled the law in regard to aid and advance of the Council of Ministers by affirming that the Lieutenant Governor is bound to act and aid and advise except in the respect of land, public order and also police. The court has also made it clear that there is no requirement of the concurrence of the Lieutenant Governor, and also that he had no power to overrule the decisions of the state government. However, there is a catch here in the operationalism of Article 239A subclause 4, the proviso which says that in the case of difference of opinions between the Lieutenant Governor and his ministers in any matter, the Lieutenant Governor shall refer it to the President for the decision and act according to that decision. So in the meantime, if the Lieutenant Governor thinks that the matter is urgent, he can take immediate action on his own. So ultimately things are back to square one. So if Lieutenant Governor, for example, wants to frustrate the efforts of the government, he can declare that there is a difference of opinion on any issue decided by the elected government and refer it to the President, which is in reality means the Union Home Ministry. That is, the Lieutenant Governor being its representative, it is easier for him to secure a decision in his favor. So the state government will be totally helpless in this situation. So the Delhi riots case, the recent appointment of the prosecutors for conducting the Delhi riot case in High Court in the case of Point. As per the High Court and Supreme Court, the appointment of prosecutors is exclusively within the purview of state government. So when the government decided to appoint him, the Lieutenant Governor referred it under the proviso of Article 239A under subclause 4 to the President, stating that there is a difference of the opinion between him and the government over this matter. So in the meantime, the Lieutenant Governor appointed all the prosecutors whose names were submitted by the Delhi police, and thus the state government list was rejected. So this episode clearly points to the fault lines which still exist in the power equation in the capital's administrative structure. So the key question is whether the Lieutenant Governor can refer a routine administrative matter such as appointment of the prosecutor to the President. So close reading of the Supreme Court judgment in the National Capital Territory Delhi case, that is Supra, would reveal that he cannot. So just take a look at what Supreme Court says. The word any matter employed in the proviso of Article 239A, that is subclause 4, cannot be inferred to mean every matter. So the power of Lieutenant Governor under the said proviso represents the exception and not the general rule, which has to be exercised in the exceptional circumstances by the Lieutenant Governor. So keeping in this mind the standards of the constitutional trust and morality, the principles of collaborative federalism, the concept of constitutional balance. So matters of jurisdiction, the court further says that the Lieutenant Governor should not act a mechanical manner without a due application of the mind so as to refer to every decision of the Council of Ministers of the President. The country, the highest judicial form in the country, in his own majestic style, directs that the governor not to refer to the presidential normal administrative matters as that would disturb the concept of constitutional governance. So principles of collaborative federalism and standards of constitutional morality, a reference to the appointment of the prosecutors of the governor to the president seems to be in negation of these principles. So there is another point which emerges from the judgment, and attention needs to be paid to that. So that is that the executive power of the Union does not extend to any of the matters which come within the jurisdiction of the Delhi Assembly. Parliament cannot legislate for Delhi or any matter in the state list and also a concurrent list, but the executive power in the relation of the Delhi, except the police, land and public order, vests only in the state government headed by the Chief Minister. So Supreme Court says in Article 239A reserves the Parliament's legislative power on all the matters of the state list and concurrent list, but clause 4 explicitly grants that the government of Delhi executive power in relation to the matters for which the Legislative Assembly has power to legislate. So this statement of the law by Supreme Court implies that Union government is not empowered to exercise executive authority on the matter which comes within the exclusive jurisdiction of the state government, like the appointment of the prosecutors. So the only occasion when the Union government can overrule the decision of the state government is when the Lieutenant Governor refers to the matters to the President under the proviso to the clause 4, but this proviso cannot totally override the executive decisions of the state government under this clause. So the judgment of the Supreme Court resolves the apparent contradiction by enjoining the Lieutenant Governor to keep in mind while making a reference to the President of the constitutional morality, and also making a precedent the constitutional morality, principles of collaborative federalism, concept of constitutional governance, and also objectivity. Although the court did not specify the matters which can be referred to the Lieutenant Governor to the President, the high principle described above broadly indicate what can be referred and what cannot. So in any case, it is unambiguously clear that the executive decisions of the state government cannot be referred to the President merely because the Lieutenant Governor has a different personal opinion about some of them. So the top court wants the Lieutenant Governor and also the Council of Ministers to use in full of mechanism provided by the government of NCT, that is National Capital Territory of Delhi Act, and also the transition of business rules to thrash out difference. Court seems to elevate the higher levels the issue that can be referred to the President as a distinct from the normal decision taken in the exercise of the executive powers of the state. So the President is the highest constitutional authority, and his decision should be sought only on the constitutionally important issues. So the last word, finally, the Supreme Court gives wise advice to the Lieutenant Governor. We may reiterate that constitutional scheme adopted by for the NCT of the Delhi conceives of the Council of Ministers as a representative of the people on the hand, and also a Lieutenant Governor as a nominee of the President on the other, who are required to function in harmony within the constitutional parameters. In the said scheme of things, the Lieutenant Governor should not emerge as an adversary having a hostile attitude towards the Council of Ministers of Delhi. Rather, he should act as a facilitator. So when we analyze the reference by the Lieutenant Governor to the President of issue appointments of the prosecutors within the parameters laid down by the Supreme Court, we find that it is not in consonance with these principles initiated by the court. It is against a constitutional morality which requires strict adherence to the constitutional principles of the collaborative federalism, so constitutional balance, and also concept of constitutional governance. So all these principles act as a bulwark against the aspiration of the powers and also the state by the union. When the court declares that the law and requires the constitutional authorities to follow, they have an act in compliance and also not in defiance. This is regarding the conflict between the Delhi government and also the Lieutenant Governor regarding the power exerted. Because it is a union territory, some powers will based on the history of external affairs. The next article is regarding the coronavirus test, and saliva test has been introduced recently, and this is a less expensive thing, so it is regarding this one. A better test on rapid inexpensive saliva test for coronavirus. So India should quickly adopt the rapid and inexpensive sensitive saliva test. So on August 15, 6.5 months after the first novel virus reported in the country, India crossed another grim milestone of 50,000 deaths. The total number of cases reported on Saturday stood nearly 2.6 million. That is, India has been reporting most fresh cases in the day of the world since August 2nd. So more than the death toll is around 51,045. What is troubling is that shorter time taken for the death toll is to double. So the toll just crossed 25,000 on July 16th and double around 50,000 in just 30 days. It is certain that there is some extent of under-reporting of deaths across the country, especially when the deaths have occurred outside the healthcare system. So for instance, reporting the COVID-19 cases in the deaths by the states by Gujarat, West Bengal and Telangana have been suspect right from the beginning. So the pandemic-defying trend seen in these states is in the stark contrast to the rest of the country. So no combination of the factors can explain the low daily mortality figure in Gujarat and Telangana. So in fact, in the last month, the death toll of any single day in Telangana have never crossed 15. So it has been a single digit on many days. So the state even reported 0 deaths on July 26, while in Gujarat the deaths have never crossed 30 except in one day. However, the under-reporting notwithstanding, it is unlikely to be huge enough to change the death toll several fold. So like most southern Asian countries, deaths per million population have been low in India, while the case fatality rate too has been low. So the continuous dip in the rate might be due to more cases, including asymptomatic ones, being detected due to the increased testing and the rapid antigen tests. Also, lost cities that witnessed strained healthcare infrastructure due to the surge in the cases, leading to more deaths. Seem has been past the peak. A big shortcoming of the rapid antigen test is their low sensitivity, and despite the ICMR's recommendation, most states have very low rates of validation of negative test results under the molecular methods. Relying mostly on the rapid antigen tests will result in many of the infected continuing to spread the virus. So if a speed, low cost and constraints of molecular testing capacity are the reason why many states have embraced rapid antigen testing. The emergency use of authority granted recently by the US FDA for saliva test developed by the Yale University would be a good news for India. So this rapid, inexpensive, non-invasive, and also highly sensitive test that uses saliva samples will not only help to detect more cases but also reduce the need for the trained care workers and also collect the samples. So with the testing protocol made freely available, India should facilitate a rapid adoption of the test by the states after local validation. Early results of saliva tests have been encouraging, and also India will hugely gain by embracing live of an unreliable rapid antigen test, particularly when the virus spreads to the rural areas. This is regarding the articles of the Hindu newspaper. That's the end of article discussion. If you are new to my channel, I request you all to subscribe so that you will not miss any further updates. Thank you. Have a great day.